want to talk lots about cookies?
Cookies.
Okay. We can talk about what cookies are good for?
Yeah.
Yeah? And any other cooking that you like to do?
Nope.
None?
Cookies.
Just cookies.
Cookies.
All right. Well, I'm pretty excited to be in the kitchen with you. Are you ready to get going?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Okay. Well, we are in the kitchen today with the wonderful Will. I like that. That really rolls off your tongue, doesn't it? The wonderful Will.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Will or William?
Like Will.
Will's better.
Yeah. Most of my friends call me Dad, so yeah.
Call you that? Will.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, they usually call me Will.
I thought you said they call you Dat. Oh, good. Okay, so I heard that Will likes making the thing that we happen to be making today.
Cookies.
You make lots of them, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
cookies.
So we're making freezer Bikkies, aka freezer cookies. And why do you think I would have called them freezer cookies?
Because you only need a freezer.
Right? We don't need to bake them. Is that really crazy for a cookie?
Not to me.
Good. Okay. So this is going to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got your measuring skills down pat?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, let's do this. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to start with some cacao powder. Now, this is different to cocoa powder. Did you know that?
Yep.
Yep. How do you?
They're two different things.
They are. Do you know anything about them?
Nope.
We're going to need 1/4 cup of cacao powder. Can you arrange that for me? I'm going to get you a knife so you can level that off. Do you know this trick with the measuring? To use the back of the knife so we can level it and make sure it's nice and even?
Yeah.
Do you want to use that? And make sure the knife is upright. There you go. Then we make sure we get a perfect measure. Okay, now actually, before I just gave you the bowl there, but that's actually going to go into a saucepan because although we're not going to put these cookies in the oven, we are still going to use a little bit of heat to make sure we get a good blend on some of these ingredients.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got our 1/4 cup of cacao powder. Caught it. Good one. See, that's why we wear aprons.
Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
Dirty.
They can get dirty and not our clothes.
Dirty. Yeah.
Okay, and then we need 1/4 cup of coconut oil, please. And thankfully it's summer, so it's easier to get because it's all melted.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe hold that over and I'll pour? Okay. So do 1/4 cup. Oh, bingo. Now,
Nice.
if you love the coconut flavor, did you know that there's actually 3 different kinds of coconut oil?
I think there's green coconut.
Kind of. Well, that's better for drinking. So we can drink green coconuts for their
Yeah.
juice. But when it comes to the oil, there's actually extra virgin coconut oil, then virgin coconut
yeah.
oil, and then cooking coconut oil. Kind of confusing,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Confusing.
But
Because there's the extra virgin coconut oil, then there's the virgin. Because they're the same, but one's extra.
right. So it means it's extra coconutty.
Yeah.
So if you really don't like the coconut flavor, then you want to get the one that's called the cooking coconut oil,
Yeah.
right?
I
Good
still
idea?
like coconut, so yeah.
You do like the coconut flavor?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's handy. Okay, what's this guy?
Tahini.
Yeah, do you know what tahini comes from?
No.
No? Okay. So if peanut butter is the paste of a peanut, tahini is the paste of what seed? It's a tiny little white seed. Starts with an S. Sometimes they get sprinkled on top of hamburger buns.
Sesame.
Sesame seeds.
Oh, okay,
Cool.
sesame seeds.
There you go. So that's the paste, or like the nut butter, seed butter of sesame seeds. So can you please measure
They're
out?
tiny.
Yeah, they're
It'll
itty
take a
bitty.
while to get a lot.
Can you imagine squishing the oil out of every single seed?
Squeeze.
Can you please measure 3 tablespoons of tahini for us? You'll have to probably scoop into there for that. There we go.
I like dipping carrot sticks in tahini.
Oh, awesome. That's a really good
3?
snack. 3 of those. Yep, just approximate. You can scrape it in there. We could do a little scoop. Does it need a bit of help?
It looks like pasta when it lands.
Yeah.
Or noodles.
There you go. Okay, a couple more. So we want 3 of those. It's good and sticky, isn't it?
Sticky.
Now, do you have any idea why tahini is so good for us?
No.
The main thing that might be in tahini? Okay, so this is maybe testing some of your science knowledge at school.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a mineral.
Like food knowledge.
Yeah, science and food. So it's a mineral that our body needs, and it makes our bones strong, and it starts with a C.
Calcium.
Oh, you got this, nailed. Good job. So yes, tahini is very high in calcium. Do you want to scrape that out?
Yeah.
That's one of the things it's good in for. It's actually good for a lot of other things too. So that's a good one to have up our sleeve. Okay, and then we cannot forget our peanut butter. Let me just grab our peanut butter. Okay, so this one, now if you can't do peanut butter, you could try almond butter.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's kind of like the same paste of an almond then, right?
Okay.
Or we could try cashew butter, but we're gonna need 3/4.
I've heard of cashew butter.
Oh, you have heard of that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need 3/4 of a cup. So how are we gonna measure 3/4 of a cup?
Use a quarter.
Quarter, how many times?
3.
Perfect. Have we already got one there?
Yeah.
And this is the other reason why we, oh no, keep that in there, because that's gonna make it easier to plunk out the peanut butter, because you've got that little bit of coconut oil in there still. So this one you're gonna have to pour it.
Very wet.
Yeah, you'll probably have to pour it into here. Right, can you do that?
Yeah.
Because that one's pretty liquidy peanut butter. Sometimes you'll have to scoop it.
Yeah.
Is that a good one? So now hopefully that'll come out really easily because we already had the coconut oil in there.
It's going out so fast. It like folds.
Okay, so that was how many? That was 1.
2.
Good stuff.
3. It looks like folds.
Like a fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like ripples on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's like ripples, but they come in layers.
There you go. Yum.
Ooh.
Okay. So yes, you could use other butters here. Doesn't have to be peanut butter.
Almond or cashew butter.
Almond or cashew butter. Maybe even if you couldn't do nuts, you could do a bit of sunflower butter and even coconut butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coconut butter.
Have you had that?
Nope.
That's really yummy. It's
I
very
like peanut butter.
thick and delicious. Do you want to use this one so we don't have to spray it everywhere? Just give it a good scrape all around the edges. It's a good way to practice our dexterity of our hands, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, these probably wouldn't be cookies if we didn't put a little something a little bit sweet in them, right?
Yeah.
I did that once. Have you ever had a cookie where you
Honey.
accidentally forget to put the sweetener in?
Yeah.
Does it taste very good? Not so much?
It's just plain, but I still like it.
Okay, so this is our last little ingredient we need to put in here before we are going to put this on the heat and warm it up.
Honey. I love honey.
Yum.
Another one of my favorite foods.
Okay, now we need 1/3 of a cup of the honey. So we could measure with 1/3 of a cup. Or here's a little tricky business. Do you like maths at school?
Yes.
Should we practice some maths?
Yes.
Okay. So if we didn't want to dirty the 1/3 of a cup, and we already had this one dirtied,
Yeah.
see how many milliliters that is in volume?
60.
That's 60 mils, and the 1/3 of a cup is,
80.
okay, so that's a difference by
20.
20. Good, you're good at this. Okay, how much is a tablespoon worth in this case?
15.
15. Is that pretty close to 20?
Yeah.
So how could we do that without dirtying this one? 60 plus 15.
Equals 75.
75.
5.
So if we just made it a little bit more full,
Yeah.
would that work?
Yeah.
Then we don't have to dirty 1/3 of a cup.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
So one of those, and then an inch more.
Nice. So I'll do this one. And do you want to get the 1/4 of a cup ready? Please?
Ready.
So a little bit of a full one.
Honey.
Okay, do you want to hold it over the pot? There we go.
Yeah. Goes in so fast.
It's doing the folds like you said too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could just watch that. It's very zen. There we go. Okay. And then you're probably going to have to scrape that in with the spatula as well.
This one.
Yes.
My mum has one of these.
They're pretty handy, aren't
Yeah.
they? They prevent a lot of waste too.
True. Because they made of rubber in there.
And they make it so you can get all the corners, right?
Yeah.
So what other kind of cookies do you make at home?
Chocolate cookies.
Just plain chocolate or choc chip or?
I think it's choc chip, triple choc chip.
Oh, that one. That's a good recipe. Love that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they're tasty.
Is that one of your favorites of my recipes?
Yeah.
Chip choc cookies?
Yeah, I like those. They're quite tasty.
Awesome. Okay.
I'd at least have 3 a day.
Oh no. Really?
Yep.
Do you mean only when you've made them fresh? So only
Yeah.
for a couple of days you do
Yeah,
that?
when they're like nice and warm, we usually snap lock them and put them in the freezer.
Okay. Because normally that would be a sometimes food, right?
Yeah, but I have
Cookies?
it always.
Well, I suppose if you're not having any
I
other...
like them really warm because they're more like crumbly and crunchy.
Oh.
When they're
soft
cold, they're
on the
really
inside?
hard, but still like them cold.
So do you take them in your lunch boxes then?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
well,
haven't
maybe,
made any for a while, but they're still tasty.
maybe this is another option then.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just now, we just need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Can you find me the 1/4 teaspoon, please?
Quarter.
And we're going to get that onto the heat so we can start warming this up.
1/4 teaspoon.
I'm just going to pull that in a little bit.
Quarter.
Yes,
That's the one.
just a little one, nice and level. Whoopsies, we
Dang.
can wash that in a second. Okay, nice and level, good. Remember to tip the knife up.
No.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you can wash that in a sec. Just dump that in there, and then you can come wash your fingers over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get that on, warming that up. And while that's happening, we can measure out the other ingredients for our freezer Bikkies. Okay, so the vanilla we won't put in just yet, but we are gonna need...
Vanilla.
Are you all good there? You've got your tea towel to dry your hands with?
Oh, tea towel. Forgot about that.
Pretty handy having an apron with a tea towel holder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty good invention, do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that was my invention?
Probably.
It was, you're right. Custom designed.
Yeah.
Okay, now Will, we're gonna need 2 cups of oatmeal,
Oatmeal.
but the 1 cup measure doesn't fit in the jar. So how else can we measure that? The half cup measure fits.
We could do 2 halves.
2 halves will make how much?
A cup. 4 quarters.
2 halves will make 1 cup,
Yeah.
and we need 2 cups.
So 4 of the halves.
Beautiful. Do you wanna do it?
4 of the half. Half. Yeah, that just fits, but
Okay, that's getting a bit
just
hot.
fits, but the brim just
Doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, but this is just small
I'm gonna give this a stir because I'm really smelling it. And you need to measure out 4 of those, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, good. Nice and full into that bowl, please.
Bowl. 1.
And we just want to stir this one so we can get rid of all the little lumpy bumpies of the cacao powder in there.
So
And
what
make
exactly
sure-
are we using the second part of it for?
Do you mean the oatmeal?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make the bulk of our cookie. So that's kind of what the cookies are mostly made out of, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So that's 3.
Well, they're mostly melted together already. It's kind of a hot day, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to go in my pool when I get home.
Ooh.
And that's 4.
Okay, so we're going to heat that up nice and gently. Give that a bit of a
I
stir.
may have made an inch of a mess.
Well, it wouldn't be cooking if we didn't make a bit of a mess, right? Okay, and we
Yeah.
also need 2 cups of this. So can you do the same thing?
Is that coconut?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Shredded coconut.
So which one?
Same thing you just did. How many of those?
4.
Good. 4. Got this under control.
Ah, can't get it in. Ooh, shredded coconut.
Yum.
Coconut.
Have you ever tasted that on its own?
Yes, it's tasty.
It is pretty yummy. It's kind of
Tastes
sweet,
like-
isn't it?
Yeah. Has sort of a dry texture too.
Yeah. Just needs a little bit more chewing.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying in a bag, isn't it? It makes the point that.
It's a real pain.
Would you rather have that in a jar then?
Yeah.
It would be easier, wouldn't it?
Jar is way easier.
So do you guys have your pantry pretty set up with mostly jars?
Yeah.
It's pretty good setup, isn't it? Makes it
Yeah.
easier to cook.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to go in there and just snack on the stuff in the jars?
Yeah.
What do you
I mostly
snack on?
snack on the dried apricots, sultanas, sometimes the coconut sugar.
Oh, you snack on the coconut sugar.
That's 3.
That's 3. Oh, was I distracting you? Sorry.
Yeah. I just remembered.
Gotta pay attention. This is serious business. Can't mess up our freezer cookies.
Yeah.
Nice.
Done.
4 done. Rockin'. And I think we're nearly ready here. So with this one, we don't really need to cook it. We just need to warm it up enough so it's all melted together. Okay? And we definitely don't want it to burn, so we don't want it to be too hot of a temperature.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty good. Do you think so? We're even getting some nice little bubbles happening there. Okay.
No, it smells more of like a peanut butter and chocolate.
It is, yeah. They're kind of like peanut butter chocolate cookies.
Oh, with coconut.
With coconut.
Oatmeal.
Now, if we wanted to get really creative, I know you haven't tasted them yet, but are there any other things that we could add into this that you can think of that could just change it up every now and then?
I'm not very sure.
Do you like eating sultanas?
Yeah.
Could we add them in maybe?
Yeah.
Or maybe some like walnuts? Do you like walnuts? Or
I've never tried walnuts.
Oh, well, this could be a first try.
Yeah.
Okay, so now should we put the dry ingredients into here or this one into there?
I think that into there.
And what's your reasoning behind that?
Because that's already dirty on like this, because
That'll be easier to clean, won't it?
yeah.
Smart. I love your thinking, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about reducing dishes. Okay, do you want to help me? Can you scrape it in with your hands? Nice.
Sort of brownish white.
Which bit?
The both of them put together. It's
Okay,
like,
now this might be a little bit hot, but can you give that a good stir? We need to coat the oatmeal and the coconut. You can get in there and really stir that up. Thank you. Oh, and we almost forgot to put the vanilla in. Can you expose some of the wet stuff so we can mix it in with the wet stuff? Can't forget the vanilla. So we need a good teaspoon and a half of vanilla. And I just don't want to pour it over just the plain dry ingredients, otherwise it's going to absorb all the vanilla in one spot. Okay. Let's try and get us.
got some of
Good.
that.
Okay, can we stir this down the bottom? Give that a good little stir into the wet ingredients. Just give it a good rub down the bottom. Good. That was only 1/2 a teaspoon. Here's another half. Stir it around. And then
The
one more.
vanilla just gives it a bit more sweetness to it.
It is, isn't it?
Along with the coconut.
And smell that. Like, is that not the most
yeah,
amazing
that's one of my favorite
smell?
smells. It's quite nice.
So good. We definitely want to make sure we use real vanilla though. Did you know that there's like fake vanilla?
Yeah.
Vanilla flavor?
Yeah.
We don't want to use that one, do we?
No. That's natural.
Yeah. What do you think the difference is in the body? Like, how would the body know the difference between a fake vanilla and a real vanilla?
Like, because the real vanilla has a taste.
And do you think-
Well, the other vanilla doesn't really have a taste, and like, there's a difference.
Yeah. And in terms of the way that the actual molecules, like the way that it's made up in the body, when the body goes to break it down and use it
reacts.
it would know the difference between something that's fake and something that it can recognize, right?
Yeah.
So we probably only want to eat real things.
Looks more chocolatey.
Is your wrist getting sore?
Yeah.
A little bit? Should I give it another stir? So it gets nice and sticky though, that's what we want, because that's how they're going to hold together.
Cookies together.
Right?
Yeah.
So we really want to make sure it's fully coated. All those oats and all that coconut gets covered in that chocolatey gooiness.
Yeah. And then you can like stick it together and make cookies.
Make cookies. Okay, so let's both give our hands a good wash now because we are going to be forming up our cookies. Can you go give them a good scrub, please?
Scrubber.
And then I've got some trays ready. Make sure that your trays are going to fit in the freezer too.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's been an oopsies.
Effective.
If we put them on trays and then, oops, doesn't fit in the freezer. Okay, you've got your tea towel there.
Tea towel.
Now, if your mixture was really hot, you might have to wait a little bit until it cools off enough so we can handle them. But if that didn't work, you could always just form the cookies onto the sheet like this too, without really touching them. So that's another option. But I think it's more fun to get in there with our hands, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you rather get to have 2 smaller cookies or only get to have 1 big one?
I'm not sure.
I think that's probably a pretty good size for a cookie, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do like that?
Yeah.
Can I pass you some?
Yeah.
Scrape that off. Is that big enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So give it a good squeeze. We want to really compress it so it holds together.
Squeeze.
Yes. Maybe we could make a ball, or we could maybe flatten them a little bit. They might look a little bit like hamburger patties.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
How many do you think we're going to get?
I'm not sure.
Should we do some more maths?
Yeah.
So, you're doing multiplication tables, right?
Yeah, I know how to do those.
Okay. So if we've got 4 in this direction, how many are we going to fit in this direction? 3?
Yeah.
So how many are we going to end up with on this tray if we have 4 times 3?
4, 8, 12.
12. There you go. Good work. Now, here's another one. 4 times 3 is 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get 24.
There you go. So Will just did 12 on each tray. Do you think we'll have enough mix for that though? That's the next question.
Yep.
Should we make them a little bit smaller just to make sure we've got enough for 24?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fixing them up.
Okay, thank you. Good shaping.
Need to look more like balls.
There we go. So, how many do you think would be probably a good idea to have a day without having any more than that a day?
I'm not sure.
Because we've used pretty healthy ingredients, right?
True.
There's just still is a bit of sugar, like there's still the sweetener of the honey.
Yeah. Which is sort of like sugar.
Right.
It's a bit hot down the bottom.
Is it?
Like that's where the warmth is.
Is that still okay on your hands though?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So should we only have 1 a day?
Yeah.
And then that way they last longer because they're in the freezer anyways.
Yeah, and
so
you
at
have
least
24 for these trays.
Okay, so here's some more maths. If you've got 24 cookies
Yeah.
and you've got 2 kids in the family
Yeah.
and you have 1 cookie a day, how many days will you get to eat cookies for?
12.
12! Wow, you're really quick at
Because
this.
you get a tray each.
There you go.
Because you have 24 and you just divide it by 2.
You're already doing division too.
Yeah, and you divide it by each by 1. You get your
Okay, here's
answer.
another one for you. Okay, let's make that a little bit more fun then. So if we've got 24 cookies, and there's 2 kids in the family, and there's 2 adults in the family, so that's 4 people,
Yeah.
and they eat 1 cookie a day.
6.
6 days of cookies.
Yeah.
You are such a rock star at this.
Yeah.
Well done. Do you think anyone else is going to be able to keep up to you in the maths competitions?
I'm not
Do
sure.
you guys get to do maths competitions anymore?
We do times like multiplications.
Like timed tests?
Yeah, like beat the clock.
We used to call them mad minutes. Do you call them mad minutes?
No, we call them beat the clock.
Beat the clock.
Like,
Okay.
it's like to try and get a record. You have 5 minutes, and once you finish, you say done, and you have 100 multiplication questions.
Oh. Have you ever gotten through 100 in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I usually get around 2 minutes.
Wow. That's awesome. Good practicing. Okay, now read it through our maths out though, because we only ended up with how many?
22.
22. Well, I think we'll leave it there for the math skills for now. You did a really good job. I'd give you a high five right now, but I think we'd get really, really sticky, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Let's just do an air 5. Ready?
Yeah.
Air 5. Okay, we're gonna put these in the freezer, let them freeze, and then we get to have a taste in a little while. Sound good?
Yeah.
Thanks for making freezer cookies with me.
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Will. Let's get these in the freezer. What do you think? Can you carry one over? Maybe we should wash our hands first. Is that a good idea?
I haven't finished licking them.
Oh, okay, well you can keep licking them. That's all right.
Okay, I'm done now.
Okay. We can use some soap if you want. All right. I think it's time to do a taste test on our freezer Bikkies. What do you think? Should we get them? Come on, Lulu, let's get them. Okay, you want to grab that tray?
I'm gonna grab it. They feel quite hard.
They're quite chilly.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one are you going to try? Now, sometimes they need to sit for a couple of minutes when they get out of the freezer because sometimes they're really hard. But I think we're still going to be in our good window. What do you think?
I'll choose this one.
You're trying the biggest one? Were you evaluating the tallest one?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Dink. They're good.
Chocolatey, peanut buttery, chewy.
You don't really have a vanilla taste, but they're still really nice.
You happy with that?
I'd have these at home.
Do you think you could make them all on your own now that you've done them?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for making freezer Bikkies with me, Will.
Thanks.
Can we cook again sometime in the kitchen together?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'd like that. Maybe you can write me the next recipe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
There's something new to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you've got some new recipe for your repertoire. Do you think we're going to be able to share these cookies with anyone, or are we just going to eat them ourselves? Should we hide them? Let's hide them. Let's hide them quick.